That prison sentence for aiding and abetting Quentin Smith in the unlawful possession of a firearm. Now, Quentin Smith should have never had access to the firearm that he used to kill the two Westerville police officers because he had prior convictions for burglary with a firearm specification and domestic violence. Gerald Lawson gave that firearm to Quentin Smith, and although Smith was the one who killed the officers, not Lawson, Lawson bears responsibility for his actions, and that's what the sentence here today reflects. Just speaking broadly, felons should not have access to firearms. This case is probably the most horrible example of that you can imagine. Straw purchasing has got to stop.
There was a conversation in the course of our conversation with arguments from the defense that there's a, and I believe it was the pastor who said it's a fine line between justice and vengeance. Can you speak to that? The judge spoke to that when he spoke.
The judge's job, and it's the same job that the United States has in advocating for a sentence, is to figure out a sentence that is just in light of the statutory sentencing factors that Congress has prescribed for any federal crime. So one of the factors that you're supposed to look at and that the judge did look at is the seriousness of the offense. This was an extremely serious offense for the reasons that the judge said and that I've talked about here this afternoon. This was about as serious as you could possibly have a straw purchase kind of offense. Number two, another important factor that the United States advocated and that the judge agreed with is general deterrence. Here's the point. If you're going to straw purchase a firearm for a felon who's not legally entitled to it, you can't do it unless you don't have a record. So the idea is that if somebody does that and is convicted of the crime, as Lawson was here, the sentence needs to deter other people who might consider doing that crime in the future. In the United States view, and as the district court decided, a sentence of 5 years in federal prison is supposed to, and I hope will, accomplish those goals. I hope that anyone who has the option, who is faced with the choice of, should I buy a gun and transfer a gun to my friend or my family member or my boyfriend who is prohibited by law from possessing that firearm because they're a felon, will stop and think, no, I shouldn't. That's a federal crime and it's going to subject me to 5, 6 years in prison, up to 10 years in prison. And these are the kinds of horrible results that can happen when people do that.